not ever. Wants to come out of there. Stuck punch a hole. That is looking fantabulous. What's happening, everybody? Captain Joe here with Island Marine Charters and Fish Bump TV. We're back for another episode. Last one you guys saw us working on the through hulls. We've got them covered up down in the bilge area right now, and we are getting ready to install this vertical wall. Everything on this boat is puttied and screwed together to close up any of the gaps. This is that Napa, the short strand fiber filler. All right, Mark, you got that side. I'm gonna have to lift up on this thing carefully, not ever. Probably gonna smear a little bit as it goes in. That's okay. All right, pretty good. We like it. Y'all can see we've got our screws already staged. Really nice radius curve on all those edges, so that the water, when we're washing this deck, will flow around to our drains, which we still have to drill those. Your prep work is a big part of everything you do, guys. I know sometimes you want to skip over prep, take the shortcut, but you want to radius those corners. You want to make sure everything's really nice and clean. Go ahead and get all your fiberglass cut and have it ready before you start glassing. That way you don't have any hiccups or hang-ups. And we put a layer of chop strand mat and then one layer of a 1708 biaxial. And then today we came in here and sanded and resin coated this fish box. Detail sanded all the edges. We've got masking paper here in the bilge. You can see we got our through hole fittings. Other holes already drilled, and we got a few edges. We glassed this last night as well, and then wrapped it underneath. Pretty good. First coat of gel coat, y'all, using one of those little small Corona rollers. Those are the ticket. I'm gonna move over here to this other side. Start rolling this one. Keep videoing if you want to, Mark. It's on. Y'all, Mark is the cameraman today. Mark, you want to spin the camera around, say hello to everybody? Hello. Logan's taking a break today. That's okay, man. We always gotta have a backup plan. Now, personally, y'all, when I'm gel coating, I usually like to do the sides first and then the bottom, because you're gonna get little drips and runs. They're gonna fall to the bottom naturally because of gravity. So if you kind of start on the sides and then come back and do the bottom at the end. And this is the first coat. I did put just a little bit of wax in there, not much. These small diameter rollers, like we're using here, are the ticket. They get into the corners so much better. They're not cheap. They're about $5 a piece. And I would say they're worth it. Spent a lot of time prepping, getting all the surfaces really nice and smooth and clean. The painting is really super easy. The actual gel coating or painting compared to the prep work. Prep work is where everybody wants to shortcut. Don't do it. Don't shortcut the prep. All right, y'all, we're fixing to work on putting some cockpit drains in. That's a standard, that's believed from a company called Gelcoat, but that style has been around forever. That's an 1.5 inch barb fitting, and you all may have seen in some previous episodes we made these recesses down, and I showed that in another video. There's a little recess, and we're going to take out the middle of this, and this little flange will fit flush in there, and then we got another flat area underneath that we can screw to. I'll just set that there. See if that'll. There's the puck. Now, will the puck come out? Might have to get something to hook it or hit it or something. There it is. It wants to come out of there. Stuck a little bit. Hey, I might have to clean it up a little bit with the die grinder, but ain't nothing wrong with that. I think that'll work. There's that starboard puck that we used. And let's show you all this. We'll take that drain and it's gonna flush mount right down inside of there. That's gonna be pretty cool. All right, y'all, we're fixing to drill some holes or cut some holes and get the hatches for the pedestal seat. And we've marked off the cutouts. We got Marky Mark there with the vacuum. You know, that is our friend. And what we're gonna use is a big drill bit, punch a hole right there on the edge of our cutout. Just like that. That is what you want. We're using our Bosch saber saw with a metal cutoff wheel. Go ahead and flip it in there. There we go. All right, we'll show y'all a little bit of the cut. Here we go. All right, y'all, we finished cutting those holes in the pedestal seat. Those are those Bomar hatches. I have had good luck with those in the past. And I don't know if I showed y'all, but when we were cutting those pieces out, I had made some just plywood templates, and we basically laid them over the blue masking tape, and then we just used a magic marker, or y'all see me use just a standard Sharpie all the time to mark the cutout. And then we were just commenting about what blade worked best. Now, I'm a big fan of Bosch blades, but there are other blades that'll work. But this particular one, now these are really, really long. They're longer than they need to be for this application, but this particular blade configuration worked really good. And what we got going on, y'all, is we are about to drill these holes for our cockpit drains. There's that standard cockpit drain, and when I put it in there this morning, we had to build it up a little bit, and there was a little bit of wobble. The surface in there wasn't super flush, so we took the hole saw that we actually drilled the hole with, and I put some 80 grit paper that's got the adhesive, and so that fits in there perfectly, and you can just manually sand that. You can see it's accumulating some dust in there, and that trued that surface up really, really nice. So that's one of those little tricks that you can use. We've already done it on both of those, but if you've drilled a hole or have a surface and you have a hole saw, you can put an adhesive disc on there and use that. So we are fixing to punch that hole out. That's going to be the right size. I believe that's a, Mark, do you remember, is that a 2 and
2 5/8?
I think it's 2 5/8 is going to be the right size for those deck drains. And if you're ever in doubt, y'all, when you're going to drill a hole in the boat, I took some foam, some of the insulation foam, and we went ahead and punched a hole. Mark, would you mind holding the camera? What we did is we drilled that hole, or used the hole saw that we thought was the right one in something that doesn't matter, and then we test fit that cutout. And you can see on here, that is the right dimension. Got just a little bit of tolerance there, but that is going to be the closest one, so we know before we go and drill our hole in our boat that we've got the right hole saw. Ay. Got a little chatter. Man, look how thick it is. Wow. All right. There we go. Look at that. 30. Oh my goodness. So we got a really nice recess there, so water will collect in there, sand and debris, and that should be smooth enough that when you walk over it or kick it with your foot or your toe. All right, y'all, we're gonna drill the other one. We are inside the pedestal seat, and this is how we're gonna hold it in place. We've taken a piece of 3/4 Coosa, and we used the seat as a pattern or template. We made a retaining ring that right now we've just got temporarily screwed in place, but we're gonna screw this, bond it, and we'll probably wrap some fiberglass over it. And then what we plan on doing is just screwing through the sides of this seat into that Coosa, and that's what will hold this in place. So that way it will be removable. Obviously we'll put some kind of a sealant or a bead of adhesive around between that gap, set it down, and then screw from the outside. That way if we ever need to get to this area to work on anything, we can. And then we've got another little ring here that will keep water from just running on top of the fuel tank if water or moisture ever gets there. And then we're gonna make another little piece that recesses down inside of that so that there's a small hatch with a thumb or a finger pull that'll cover up all that so stuff won't accidentally fall down on top of the fuel tank. All right, y'all, we have mixed up a little bit of resin and we're getting ready to bond. I'm gonna put a big old thick coat right on top. You can see we've got our screws already staged and ready. We're gonna go all the way around, just a good heavy coat, and work it in. Now we have already primed this Coosa once again, which is, in my opinion, very important, vital to get a good bond. Work our way right around here. We're working well into dark 30 tonight, y'all. Getting a lot done though. Super excited. Just nice, smooth. I'm not slinging it around or getting too crazy, but you want enough on there that it's going to make full contact. All right, we can come back and kind of touch it up or clean it up if we need to. We got our handy dandy, that's our Craftsman. Y'all, I bought that from Lowe's. They had a kit. Wasn't it 2 drills, Mark, for $100?
Yeah, hammer drill and a drill.
And man, those things have just been the bomb. Now, once again, y'all, you can see we're staggering. Mark, show them that little gap that we put in there for
yeah, that's what I was going to mention.
For water to travel through. If water ever gets underneath here,
so it can drain out.
Can drain out of that compartment. That's important to think about that kind of stuff when you're building a boat. We've pre-drilled everything. We've got our screws. Usually I like to get a couple started kind of around before we just go crazy. This other piece. Thank you, Mark. Again, we're kind of moving around and just letting those screws find their pilot holes without forcing the issue. That's a small diameter screw, Mark. That one. That one's a reject.
Must have been of another batch.
Yeah. We were looking for those larger. Those are, is that a number 2?
It's a 25 and this is a 20.
That is looking fantabulous.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, one more. Got a straight. Look at that. That looks awesome. Very pleased with that. All right, y'all. So what we're going to do, I've got a little bit of resin left, and we weren't able to prime the top sides of this earlier because it was hard to prime both sides. So we primed the sides that were most relevant to getting this stuck together. And you can see we've got squeeze out and we've got a little bit of resin. So we're at a good place. Me and my brother Mark always try to leave ourselves at a good point, so in the morning when we get here, if something has to dry or cure, especially like if we're priming something, we try to go ahead and get that done before we call it a day. And so that way in the morning when we start, we're not waiting on this. It's going to be good to go. I'm going to kind of fill in those screw heads a little bit. You can see that real pretty radius that we tooled. Can you show a close-up of that, Mark? We ran some of that high strength in the corners. Man, that makes me happy. Makes me very, very happy. We're getting closer to catching some big fish.
Looking good.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Just nice, smooth strokes. You don't want to go slinging this stuff everywhere.
You'll see with all the runs.
Yeah.
We're getting that cleaned up.
We're going to clean that up. You do not want to leave that kind of monkey business. That's not what we want. We like nice, professional grade work, don't we, Marky Mark?
Yep.
Make it look right. Make it look right. If you're going to do it right. Yeah. That's going to be a real nice little channel for any.
Looking good.
It looks real good. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. It makes me happy. I'm very happy. And some good work lights. Y'all, I've mentioned several times these LED work lights that we're using. Makes a huge difference. They don't throw a lot of heat like the quartz. Is it the quartz?
Yeah.
The quartz lights throw a ton of heat, and these LEDs do not. Very nice. Very nice. All right, y'all. I am about out of resin, but y'all can kind of see what we're doing here. We're going to go ahead and finish priming this. We're going to be calling it a day. You guys, now it's a good time if y'all are enjoying the content. Hit that subscribe button, like, share, comment, tell a friend or a neighbor or whoever you know that might like this kind of stuff. And we're going to pick up tomorrow, y'all. We're going to be maybe drain tubes, maybe some more Coosa work, who knows. But we'll catch you guys on the backside. All right. You can